January 30th, lock the discipline in. This month was not for display. It was not built to be shared. It was not designed to impress. It was not created for external validation. This month was internal work, private construction, the installation of patterns that operate without witnesses. Most people treat discipline as performance. They document it. They share it. They announce their progress. They seek validation for effort. But this creates dependency. It makes discipline contingent on audience. It requires witnesses to sustain what should operate independently. Real discipline does not need documentation. It does not need sharing. It does not need acknowledgement. It operates in silence because its value is internal, not external. Discipline is now internal. It has moved from conscious effort to automatic behavior, from decision to default, from something you think about to something you simply do. This is the goal, not discipline as constant struggle. Discipline as installed pattern. When discipline is internal, you do not debate whether to act. You act because acting is what you do. You do not negotiate with yourself about whether standards apply. Standards apply because they are part of who you are. This internalization is what January built, not the perfect execution of every task, not the flawless maintenance of every standard. The gradual shift from discipline as effort to discipline as identity, from behavior you perform to behavior you embody. Most people measure January by outcomes, by goals achieved, by visible results. But outcomes are not what matters most. What matters is whether discipline became automatic, whether patterns were installed deeply enough to function without conscious effort. This shift is not dramatic. It is not visible. It happens quietly through repetition, through the 100th execution of the same action, through the accumulated evidence that this is who you are, not just what you are trying to become. Carry it quietly. Do not announce that January is complete. Do not declare that discipline has been installed. Do not perform the transition from one month to the next. Just continue. The same actions, the same standards, the same commitment. The calendar shifting does not alter discipline. February does not require redeciding what was already decided. The new month does not reset standards that were meant to be permanent. January was not a temporary effort. It was the establishment of new normal. Most people treat January as special, as a contained effort, as a month of discipline before returning to normal. But this is the mistake. January was not abnormal. January was the establishment of new normal. If discipline ends when January ends, it was never discipline. It was a challenge, a test, a temporary modification of behavior. Real discipline does not have an end date. It continues because it is now part of who you are. Daily. This is the only timeline that matters, not monthly, not yearly. Daily. The same actions repeated every day regardless of what month appears on the calendar, regardless of where anyone is watching. Daily execution is what sustains discipline, not the dramatic moments, not the perfect weeks, the unremarkable repetition of showing up when showing up is ordinary. This is what separates temporary effort from lasting change. Temporary effort ends when the timeline expires. Lasting change continues because it is no longer tied to timelines. It is tied to identity. Carry it quietly means no performance, no announcement, no need to prove to anyone that discipline continues. You know it continues. That is enough. Most people need to announce continuation because they are seeking accountability. They need external pressure to maintain what should be internally sustained. But if discipline requires external pressure, it is not discipline. Internal discipline does not collapse. It holds because it is no longer dependent on anything external. It holds because it has been practiced so consistently that it became automatic. This is what January built. Not perfection, not flawless execution. The foundation for ongoing discipline. The patterns that will continue because they are now automatic. The identity that will hold because it was proven through repetition. Lock the discipline in by continuing without announcement. By acting as though nothing changed when the calendar changed. By maintaining standards that were never meant to be temporary. January ends. Discipline does not. January was the installation. February is the continuation. but continuation should feel no different than January felt by the end. Carry it quietly, daily, without announcement, without performance. Let discipline operate as it was designed to operate, silently, automatically, indefinitely. This month was not for display, it was for building, and what was built does not end when the month ends. Day 30, built in silence.